I'm Betsy Edwards.
And I'm Kristen Miranda.
And this is LifeLink News. Last year seems to have flown by. So much happened here at LifeLink. 177 of our hospital partners received medals for their participation during HRSA's Workplace Partnership for Life hospital campaign. In addition, the LifeLink Tissue Bank building was dedicated to our chairman of the board, Dennis Heinrichs, and we served hundreds of donors and their families whose gifts provided a second chance at life for 1,825 patients.
I agree. 2018 was an amazing year with memorable milestones, many of which are highlighted in our 2019 Faces of Transplantation calendar. This year's calendar highlights our resilience in the face of natural disaster, a few of our accomplishments that we showcased at an international conference, photos and stories of recipients and donor families whose lives were changed forever by the gift of donation, and a new interactive monthly calendar that features several contests, calls to action, and hashtags to post on our social media pages, among other exciting things.
I agree, Kristen. I love this year's calendar. I'm especially fond of the donor and recipient stories found throughout it. And speaking of those stories, the nomination forms for our 2020 calendar are now available on our LifeLink website and can be accessed at lifelinkfoundation.org/FacesOfTransplant2020. We encourage everyone to visit our website today and nominate themselves or someone they know who have given or received the gift of life.
You know, a few of our calendar models were able to share what being in the calendar meant to them. Let's hear what they had to say.
I mean, it's an honor just to be selected to be in the calendar at all, much less twice. So initially when I was selected is when I had first started volunteering for LifeLink, and it was such a tremendous honor based on the number of recipients to be selected, to be included in the calendar. And then years later to be asked to be in the calendar again was a tremendous honor, and I was happy to do it. I first started having problems with my lung while I was a freshman in college. Up until that point, I was healthy. One evening while eating with my friends in the cafeteria on campus, I noticed I had a sharp pain in my back all of a sudden, and I thought it was odd, but I figured, oh, I'm sure it'll go away. So at that point, my friend ran, got her car, we went to the infirmary, and it turned out I had a collapsed lung. After I had further biopsies done, I was determined that I had an extremely rare lung disease called lymphangioliomyomatosis, which is abbreviated LAM, and it's an extremely rare lung disease which only affects women. There's no cure or proven treatment, or there was no proven treatment at that time for the disease. So over the next 4 years in college, my lungs collapsed about 12 more times. They told me that I needed to be put on the lung transplant list, and if I didn't have a transplant within 2 years, I would die. So that was extremely terrifying at the time. I was still young, hadn't started really living my life at that point. So I did manage to graduate from college. I was put on a lung transplant waiting list at that time and told to go home and just wait. So about 16 months into the process, I was called to the transplant center because I was nearing the top of the list, and I received my lung transplant exactly 2 years after the time I was put on the list. It's been almost, in January, it'll be 22 years since the lung transplant. So I've been doing extremely well. About 6 years ago, I noticed I was feeling pretty run down some of the time, and so upon further testing, the medications that I was on to suppress my immune system caused damage to my kidneys. So I was placed on dialysis and told that I needed a kidney transplant. So that was in 2012. So I was very fortunate in that a very dear friend who I had worked with for about 12 years was tested and turned out to be a match for a living kidney donation. And he was nice enough to agree to be my kidney donor. So in May of 2012, I had a kidney transplant, and once that was done, I was off dialysis and back to living a completely normal life.
Well, we love having the opportunity to tell Ella's story, as well as encouraging others through our experience to give the gift of life. It's something that our family has never regretted for one moment, making that decision, knowing that we were going to lose our daughter. We wanted to do everything that we could to ensure that if we had the opportunity for someone else not to have to walk that path, that we wanted to honor life by giving it as a gift to someone else. And the calendar for us just symbolizes that to even a greater extent by being able to send that calendar to anyone and to share a little bit of our story through it.
Wow, those were some powerful testimonies.
I agree. Impactful stories like these serve as a great reminder of our mission and why we do the work that we do. I'm so glad that they not only shared their donation and transplant stories, but that they continue to volunteer to share the message of donation within their communities.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Kristen. By the way, did you know that Dara is not only one of our 2019 calendar participants, but she's also one of the newest members of the LifeLink Board of Governors?
I knew her face looked familiar. Her portrait is featured on the wall in the headquarters lobby along with the other members of our Board of Governors.
That's right. Let's hear what Dara has to say about her role on the board.
I was recently asked to serve on the Board of Governors for the LifeLink Foundation. LifeLink is an organization that obviously has personally touched my life and an organization that I'm passionate about. As soon as I arrived back to Tampa after my lung transplant, I had reached out to LifeLink just to volunteer for them. So I was doing various public speaking engagement, just volunteering where I could to spread awareness about organ donation. So when I was asked to serve on the LifeLink Board of Governors, it was truly an honor to be able to use the skills, knowledge, and talent that I've developed throughout my career in public accounting to serve LifeLink, an organization that has so tremendously touched my life.
What a great interview. Dara, we truly appreciate your support of LifeLink.
Agreed. And now I would like to introduce you to our very special studio guest, Kathy Masessa. Kathy has served as Senior Vice President of our Human Resources Department here at LifeLink since 2002. She and her team work hard to ensure LifeLink employs dedicated and talented people to carry out the mission of our organization. Kathy's accomplishments were recently recognized by the Tampa Bay Business Journal when she received their People First Award. Kathy, welcome to the newscast and congratulations on such an honor.
Thank you so much.
So, Kathy, what exactly is the People's First Award?
Well, the People First Award is given by the Tampa Bay Business Journal, and it's for HR professionals that impacted or impacts their organization and also the Tampa Bay community. They recognized 20 individuals this year in the human resources field, and it's really putting the human in human resources.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing and very well deserved. So what does receiving this award mean to not only just you, but also your entire team that you represent?
It was exciting. It meant a great deal. You know, I've been in human resources, I hate to admit this on camera, but for about 30 years, a little over 30 years. 16 of those years being with LifeLink, so of course those are my best years. Mm-hmm. And so it meant a great deal because human resources is a field and a chosen profession, you know, that I love. You know, it's not just what I do, it's who I am. And it also shows my team. I have a great team. Can I give them a shout out?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to say thanks to Patrice and Sue and Gail, Terry, Sandy, Kenneth in Puerto Rico, and Sean in Georgia. So they do the lion's share of the work, but it was great. It was great. My team was also there at the luncheon. They had Tampa Bay Business Journal had a luncheon last week to honor the 20 individuals, and I was able to share it with my colleagues, my friends, my family, and my team. So also to be nominated by one of your colleagues, to me, was a great honor. So it meant a lot to me.
Oh,
But not as much as working here with the great employees.
Well, Kathy, again, congratulations on your accomplishments. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, it's just been wonderful. But like I said, it's the day to day that I think gives you the most fulfillment. But getting an award every now and then isn't too shabby either.
It's a nice little touch. Great way to end the year.
Especially since I've been in the field for so long.
I am so happy that Kathy was able to join us today.
Me too. We definitely work with some amazing people here at LifeLink.
We really do, and not all of them have paid positions here at LifeLink. Our volunteers serve a vital role in helping us save and enhance lives through organ and tissue donation. We are so appreciative of each and every one of them for their time.
I agree, Kristen. Our volunteers are absolutely amazing. I love showing them how appreciative we are for all of their hard work.
Especially when we get to dress up and thank them, right?
Absolutely.
Some of our volunteers attended our holiday banquet and were honored for all of the work they do. In 2018, a few of our volunteers who spent more than 100 hours spreading the message of organ and tissue donation received the President of the United States Volunteer Service Award.
So you mean to tell me that people in Washington, D.C. are aware of how amazing our volunteers are?
Exactly. We are always accepting new volunteers. If you're interested in lending your time to spread the message about organ and tissue donation within your community, visit our website and complete a volunteer application.
Kristen, I have really enjoyed sharing all of this wonderful LifeLink news with you today. But unfortunately, like all good things, this too must come to an end. However, for all of you, please remember to complete those calendar nomination forms before January 10th. Again, you can access them direct on our website, lifelinkfoundation.org/Faces of Transplant 2020. Also, make sure to save the date for our Roar Through Ybor 5K race and 1 mile fun run through the streets of Ybor City, which will take place on Friday, April 19th. For those who aren't able to join us in person, you can still participate by joining as a virtual runner. You can find out more information about the race in the events section on our website. Proceeds from this race will support both the LifeLink Legacy Fund and our partners at the Lions Eye Institute for Transplant and Research. Kristen, have you dusted off your running shoes yet?
You know I have. Thank you for joining us today. Again, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Betsy.
And this is LifeLink News.
Goodbye!
Adios!